Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony and this is BlackMomAbroad. Welcome. Come on in, come on in. I ain't gonna give a long spiel today, honey, because it's hot, all right? It's hot. And don't talk about my hair because it's hot. And what I'm supposed to do with it, right? Like, I put it in a nice little cute little style that I was, about to step out real quick and Exhibit A. Exhibit A. So what is today about? Let me tell y'all something. What is this video about? I'm outside because it's hot everywhere. You can't escape it. It's hot everywhere.
Yeah,
and
hot.
It is hot. My daughter is agreeing with me. She's like, yeah, it is hot. First of all, I do have AC, but like, I don't like to be in the cold all the time. So I struggle with being too cold, and then being too hot. What you about to do, Mita? Because you don't have a shirt on. You love going shirtless. You can't come into the camera without no shirt. Okay.
Everybody, this is me.
Okay, I don't want to see.
I don't want to be in the cold all day. And 20 hours ago, where we keep missing of the tree house of like a tent with pillows on it. To get it, pillows.
You got Oreos all over your mouth.
No.
And nobody don't want to see that though. Okay, girl. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your input. Now you got Oreos on me. All right, going in.
There.
So let me just tell y'all how hot it is, okay? All right, I got distracted. Go in, Mealy, please.
No.
You're distracting me. So this video is about the heat and how do you really cope? Like, first and foremost, let me just say this. I feel like people are always quick to say, do your research. And let me tell you something, baby. Okay? Let me tell you something, baby. It's no way you can research the heat. Like, you can research it and they will say, in the summer, it's 95 to 110 or whatever the case may be. Whatever the range of numbers. Honey, but unless you sit here and live in the heat, you really don't know what the heat be looking like, right? Because vacationing in the heat is different, right? Visiting in the heat is different, but living in the heat is a whole nother story. To live in the heat is way different. Yes, Uncle Kai?
I still miss my dad.
I know you miss your dad. 3 more weeks and you'll be with your dad for 2.5 months. Please don't do that. I'm doing a video. Okay?
But this is
All right. Okay, baby, go in. Okay.
Carry the little fish.
Mwah. Love you. All right, pumpkin pie. So living, visiting, and vacationing in the heat is all very, very, very different things. This heat is getting to me. It really, really is. But it's not just getting to me because it's hot. It's getting to me because of other things that I want to talk about. First of all, it's me and my 2 daughters. We all got attitudes. Get out of my face. It's too hot. I love you, but get out of my face. How do you gentle parent when it's 110 degrees? Okay? How? It's no gentle parenting when it's 110 degrees. Like, it's too hot to gentle parent. Okay? Because if you getting on my nerves, I can take you getting on my nerves in 80 degree weather. But if you getting on my nerves in 110, ooh, child, I be feeling like karate chopping my daughters right here. Like, right here. Like, 1, 2. Like, seriously, for real. Of course I ain't gonna do it, but thought about it long and hard for a minute. Like, y'all better get out of my face. Like, it is so hard to like be a parent in the heat. I never even thought that that was like a thing. Like, I didn't think that that was a thing, but it is an actual thing. I don't want a parent when it's 110 degrees. And let me just tell y'all this. Okay? Let me just tell y'all this. It's not just the heat, right? It's the structure of the homes, okay? So the homes are structured in a way where they're like cinder blocks, they're cement, right? They hold in air really well, whether it's cold air, hot air, they hold in air. They hold in hot air. Like, you can literally get out the shower. I literally get out the shower and I really don't even know whether or not it's the water from the shower or it's the sweat from just being in the hot house. Like, I don't know. Like, you literally got to drink water constantly because one day I didn't leave the house. Like, I had my AC on in my room. I have a ceiling fan in like the living room area. I do not have an AC in the living room kitchen area, which is a no, something I will never do again if I decide to stay in Merida. And then my daughters have an AC unit in their room. Honey, if I'm cooking or cleaning or doing anything in the living room for any amount of time, I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, you get dehydrated real quick. This is a health concern. Why ain't nobody told me that? Like, nobody told me, like, this is a health concern. And so, speaking of health concerns, I see a lot of, like, older people or people with, like, chronic health conditions, like diabetes, heart disease, lupus. I am never going to tell you do not come to a place. But what I am going to say is that you really have to be very clear about how the heat affects your health. Very, very, very clear. Because some people can't take extreme cold or extreme hot. So some people can't take being in the room with AC 24/7, right? And some people can't stand like being in the hot house 24/7. So you really have to figure out how the heat affects your chronic conditions, your health, right? Another thing I'll talk about, which kind of gave me whiplash. I was like, what? Like, what? Okay, y'all. So mandatory power outages. I don't know if they're mandatory. I don't know if it just goes out. But I read an article that basically says like the power plant has a 6% reserve that they like to stay at. If they go any below that 6%, then they'll start looking into having trouble. Like, it could potentially create problems with the actual power plant. So it's not just Merida that is having these power outages. It's going across different states of Mexico, but Merida is the one of the hottest states right now. When I look at the weather, it literally says 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 110, 109. It's like, can I get 100? I never thought I'd ask that question. Like, can I get 100-degree day? Like, because then I can like feel like I'm not in the actual oven baking like a turkey, okay? But we recently had a power outage, and the power outage for me lasted almost 2 days. Now, here's the thing with the power outage. Of course, you cannot use any source of power. So, as a single mother that is here alone without a car, one thing that I make sure that I do is to make sure I have these, which are power banks. And I make sure that anytime my power is on, they are all lined up. I have 4 of them. They are all lined up and they are all charged. And I make sure I do not use them unless the power goes out. This will help with my girls' iPads, not iPads. They have Kindle Fire tablets, right? It will charge it up, I think 1.5. And although they can't get like internet, they can do what is it called? Do a hotspot on my phone, or they could just look at the things that's already downloaded onto that tablet. Honey, that's important. That's important, because the last thing you want is for your child not to have any type of electronics, and it's hot, and you can't see. Like, of course you can like read a book in the dark with the flashlight. And sorry guys, I got a call. But yeah, you can like read a book, you know, play shadow creatures on the wall. Like, there's things that you can do, but after a while you're like, it's hot. It's hot. Right? And now your refrigerator is not working, so the water you got in there is just as hot as the air. Like, you using all this energy to play. No, ain't nobody got time for that. No. Sit down and look at that tablet. Okay? I'm going to sit down and look at my phone or whatever I got that don't take that much energy. That's what I'm doing. I'm not about to be doing all of that. No. So make sure that you have several of these and that they are charged up, and that you don't use them unless your lights are out, unless your electricity is out. Another thing that I didn't really realize, I don't know if it was just poor planning, I don't know what it was, but what I've learned by being in Merida, what I've learned by living abroad, is that you can't plan for everything. And you can't plan for stuff that you simply don't even know to ask. Like, for example, excuse me, how about when the lights go off? Does the lights affect the water as well? Does that use power, an electrical source? Oh yeah, it does. So are you saying that my water won't work when the power go out? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, unless you know exactly what to ask, how do you know what to plan for? So some things you just not going to be able to plan for. Some things you just have to see when you get there, when it comes to you, when it happens to you. And so when we lost power, we lost water. So we got to pee and poop in the toilet, and it don't flush. And if we got to go a second time, what happens when, like, your toilets are starting to become full of urine and feces? It's not cute. And you in a hot house? Nobody told me that. And I didn't know to ask. How would I know to ask? So the big question is, well, long story short, short story long, however you want to put it. Our lights and stuff finally came back on. But in the midst of it coming back on, right? So I work from home. I have a computer. I just bought a computer. This computer ain't 3 months old. Another thing that you really have to understand about Merida is that it's very humid, okay? I have lost, and when I say lost, I mean conked out, 3 computers, and I haven't been here 6 months yet. 3. Because of the humidity, because of the heat, I have tried to put them in containers where the evaporator is, the water evaporator is, still conked out. I have tried to put them in the coolest place in the house, still conked out. I have tried various different things, and my computers have conked out on me. 3 laptops, gone. 6 months, that's it, gone. Don't work, won't power on. That's it. I reached out to I searched this on some of the Facebook groups, and I'm not the only person that has happened to. It's actually a very common thing that happens here, that your computer just gives out on you because it pulls in that moisture over time. Like, if I can stand in the room like I am now, just like sweating, this ain't no beauty glow. This is sweat, okay? If I could sit in a room and I'm just sweating, just standing still, not doing anything, then your computer is sweating on the inside. Period. And so I've lost 3 computers. 3. This last one that I had, that I bought, which I refused to buy an expensive one, because I had an expensive one. I had a really nice Samsung computer, and it conked out because it got all types of moisture in it. This last computer I bought did not last 90 days. It didn't last 90 days. So after this heat wave and living in this reality of what it's going to look like and it's not even summer yet, okay? It's not summer yet. After living in the reality of what it's going to look like to live in Merida, I am close to making a decision to move. And not because I love you too, baby. Heart. Love you too, baby. And not because I don't absolutely love Merida, not because the community is not amazing here. Like, I love everything about Merida, but the heat and the havoc that it has had on me, my health, my computers, my money is a little much. It's a little much. I was this close to having to pay for another Airbnb to live because I have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And if you know anything about 4-year-olds, if you like, okay, I know that it's poop in the toilet, but you still gonna have to go. They looking at you like, I'm not about to go in that toilet. And I don't blame them. And I know that every place, like various places have, various power outages. So that's something that I'm going to have to adapt to and get used to. I don't know if I want a power outage when it's 112 degrees. Ever. My girls were uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. It just was not ideal. So for the people who are coming to Merida, when we say it's hot, it can be unbearable. So we spend a lot. So the things that we do to try to navigate this heat wave is we spend a lot of time at the mall, a lot of time at like free events, libraries, malls, museums, home. So I am a person that I used to work night shift, right? I would sleep all during the day and then get up at night and go to work. Like, Mexico is a night place. Like, it comes alive at night, and I am realizing that that's really not for me. Not only, well, for many reasons, but one of the reasons is because I have toddlers, and I can't be out in the street every single night doing something. It doesn't work for my schedule. Like, it just doesn't work for my schedule having small children. The only time you can get out is when it's their time to. I know, y'all. Don't tell me. I know. That had to be done. Okay, it do. You just catch them when it's not. So don't talk about my babies. Ain't that right, pumpkin pie?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, baby. Go ahead.
Bye-bye.
Silly Billy. Mwah.
Bam.
Love you too, baby. See, she's salty. Salty, just sweating bullets. But I forgot what I was talking about.
And don't forget, if you call my daddy, just switch it to him, okay?
Okay.
Heart face.
Heart face back. Yeah, I forgot what I was about. I forgot what I was saying, but yes, this heat is real. I'm trying to remember what I was saying. I think I was saying that you got to go to like free vis. Oh, I was saying that Merida is starting to feel like it doesn't work for me because the heat is so extreme during the day that you really don't go anywhere. And I'm not really trying to hang out at night with my 4-year-olds. Now, if I had teenagers or like 8, 9, 10 preteens, that would work better for me. But I don't want to feel like I can't go anywhere because they're gonna have a heat stroke. And that's how I feel. I feel like oftentimes, like even even being outside for 10 minutes drains everything out of you. You have some Ubers who refuse to put on the AC because they're just used to it, right? And it is what it is. But you back there dying, honey, dying, and they're like they enjoying themselves. They's enjoying themselves. Like they cool with it. They used to it. So I don't know. So the big question is, will the heat cause me to leave Merida? That's a good question. And I'm really not sure. But I will be honest to say that I am leaning towards leaving Merida because just the lifestyle doesn't work for my lifestyle. Like my girls, when they start school, they're going to be on a strict schedule. They're going to get up at a certain time. They're going to go to bed at a certain time. It's just going to be more of a strict schedule, and we not about to be outside at 10, 11 o'clock every single night or 3 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want to miss out on activities for them or a life just because we can't leave until the sun goes down at 10, 11 o'clock. And one thing I did notice too, because it's been so hot and because I've been trying to go out more at night just to try to get out, that many of the restaurants at night, you have to be 18 over to get in. If they serve alcohol after a certain amount of time, you can't even take your children. When my sister and my cousin came to visit me, and one night we were turned away 5 times because we had my girls with me. We could not eat. Even though it was a restaurant, they served liquor, they put out you have to be 18 or over. I didn't know that because I typically don't go out at night, but because it's been so hot and that's really the only time we can go out, I learned that you can't have children there after a certain amount of time. After a certain period of time, it's like, no, you can't have children there. Only 18 and over. And it could be because blowing all that hot air. It could be because they serve alcohol. So that's basically it that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about the heat and how I'm surviving. I am, but I'm not. I look stressed out, don't I? I look hot, don't I? I know I do. So just keep that in mind because I'm gonna give you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God, right? When you thinking about Merida, think about the heat. It's really no in between. It really isn't. It isn't. It's either you can deal with it or you can't. It's either you gonna be inside or you gonna be inside, really. Because another thing is like I don't always want to be out of my house. Like I am a homebody. I love being at home. So the heat forces you to have to leave. I don't want to have to do that all the time. It's like either we stay in the house and sweat our booties off, or we go out. And I'm okay with going out, but I don't want to go out all the time. So those are just some things to think about when you are considering Merida. I think at the end of the day, Merida, the heat is going to make me do it. The heat is going to make me do it. And it's not just the heat. It's other things that if I make a decision to not stay in Merida, I will definitely make a video of the reasons as to why I decided to scout somewhere else. I'm still really heavily thinking about that, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, it's not easy to be bopping, not with 2 kids, child, and 10, 11 bags of luggage. It's not easy to be bopping, and so I don't want to put any more stress on myself than necessary. So if it's something that I'm going to do, it's something that I'm going to do, and that I'm going to. And here's another thing I'll say. Now that I've had this experience of being in another country, living abroad, having to deal with certain cultures, certain things that just happen in Mexico, no matter what state you are in, you know what I'm saying? Just the infrastructure. Now I know more so what to look for, what to ask, what to say yes to, what to say no to, what to question. I am so much more prepared to move about, and I think that I will get closer and closer to what it is that I actually need and want. So guys, that's pretty much it. The heat is heating. It's like a whole oven right now, and I'm trying to get through it. Drink lots of water. Go to all the free events, the mall, sit there, the museums, the library. Go out. Don't go out until after, I don't know, 7, 8. I looked at my phone. It's like 95 degrees and it's night. Like what the? So 95 degrees is hot. Even though it's no sun, it's still hot. It's still draining. You're still perspiring. Sorry. And you still need water, right? So you have to be very mindful of how this affects you and your health. But all right, y'all, I gotta go. Talk to y'all later. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who you think it may benefit. All right, guys, gotta go. Bye.